Look, if you get $700 a month to blow on a base model debt box, great. But if you're just a young cool guy or gal with a bit of cash saved up and you need a car, there are way better options out there than dropping, 30 grand or more on a mid-trim crossover, or even overpaying for some boring 2019 X-Rental Camry. Even if you don't think you're a car person, your car is literally you, on wheels. It's your little spaceship. It says something, whether you want it to or not. So what are you saying? Who are you? Are you cool? Then why not drive something cool? I mean, the world's probably gonna end in 2 years? We've got AI learning faster than humans, billionaires trying to leave Earth, 3 different wars going on, and half the planet's either on fire or underwater. So why settle for something boring, And if you're thinking of nailing something cool in 2025, is there any better era to choose from than the 90s?
First of all, I'd like to thank God. Come to death row.
So with that in mind, here's my list of 10 actually cool 90s cars you could still daily today. Some are weird, some are classy, and some are just plain stupid, man. But most importantly, they all cost way less than a new base model Corolla. Now look, full disclosure, I'm a BMW guy. I'm sitting in my E46 right now. And I could honestly make this entire list out of 90s BMWs. There's literally not a single bad BMW from this era. Whether it's a 3, 5, 7 Series, even a Z3. These are all bomb-ass cars with style and great driving characteristics you can daily right now. But maybe you're not a BMW person. Maybe you think they're overrated. Maybe you don't want to be that guy, who has an old BMW. Maybe you want something a little bit more obscure, quirky, Scandinavian. Let's start with a car that looks like a box, but hits like Thor's hammer. Number 1, this is Volvo 850, specifically the T5, T5R, and the R version. You've probably seen one before and thought, oh, that's just a family car from the 90s. And you'd be right, but then it blows past you doing 240 kilometers per hour on the Autobahn. So, let's get into it. The T5 is the sleeper, 5-cylinder turbo, front-wheel drive, and the first Volvo that got Delta Link rear suspension. If you don't know what that is, I didn't know either. Basically, it's a complicated rear suspension which enables the car to have passive rear steering. And that factor alone is pretty cool if you ask me. Then came the T5R, limited edition. They only made it for 1 year, 1995, and it came in cream yellow, stone black, or olive green metallic. Then there's the 850R, just R, which replaced the T5R in 96. It had 240 horsepower, and before the internet kids start crying saying that, that's not that much power, this was 96. This thing was faster than a Mustang GT and could haul your furniture while doing it. Volvo literally took this car racing in the British Touring Car Championship, also known as BTCC, and instead of racing a sedan, they raced the wagon. Why? Because they could, and because it was hilarious. And they also wanted to change the public opinion about the wagons. And they sure did.
Now they all laughed when Volvo said they'd be entering an estate, but they don't think it's funny anymore.
So who's this car for? Honestly, it's for the person who wants to be a little bit under the radar, but cool on the side. Like if a geography teacher got really into street racing or something. I don't know. Also, these cars are built like tanks. They're known for going more than 400,000 kilometers without any real issues. Assuming you keep up with maintenance and, don't get a rusty one. It is front-wheel drive, yeah, but that doesn't mean it's not fun. That 5-cylinder turbo has one of the best sounds from the 90s. it's like a baby Audi RS2, you know? And here's the thing, the T5 models are still kind of under the radar. You know, they don't have the R badge hype yet, and the performance is like 90% there, while the price is 60% lower. So if you find a clean one, grab it. You'll be ahead of anybody else. Now let's talk practicality. I mean, it's a Volvo, right? Look at it. No need to go into details here. You have all the space you need. If you want to do IKEA runs at like 200 kilometers per hour, that's your car. Of course, check for the usual stuff, you know, like worn turbos, rust, like any other car from the 90s, and, you know, any possible mysterious Scandinavian electrical stuff. But all in all, if it's been loved, the 850 is a good car. You know, it's a good car. Like, you know, this is the line. Here are the good cars, here are bad cars. The 850 is like, you know, here. Good car. It's not the greatest car. It's not bad car. It's just, you know, good car. It's a good old car. Let's put it like that. Oh, and by the way, this list isn't ranked. It's not best to worst or slowest to fastest or whatever. It's just a chaotic mix of cool cars. Think of it like a, I don't know, like a playlist. Shuffle mode, okay? We're going vibes first, logic second. Number 2, for the overthinkers, the misfits, the I liked them before they were cool kind of crowd. Meet the Saab 900, the new generation.
A car that's sure to make your heart race, but will never leave your mind far behind.
Okay, Saab loyalists, don't throw things at the screen yet. Yeah, this is the new 900, which means it's the first one after GM took over Saab. The one some people call not a real Saab. But hear me out, it still looks like a Saab, it still feels like a Saab, and most importantly, it's still weird in every Saab way. If you don't agree with this, the NG 900 is based on the GM 2900 platform, which is shared with Opel Vectra. But Saab engineers still did their thing. They tweaked the chassis and made it handle better than anything GM expected. You know, you could tell this wasn't designed in Detroit. No offense. Eminem, there's a V6 version with 168 horsepower, and if that's not enough, you can get the later facelifted NG 900, which actually became the first Saab 9.3. Yeah, and then get the Aero one. You get 205 horsepower, 2-liter turbo, and there was also this vegan version. No, not vegan, but vegan. Which had 250 horsepower. And look at that thing, man. In right color, right stance. I don't know about you, but to me it kind of gives off like 996 GT3 vibes. Am I crazy for thinking that? Maybe. I don't know. But, you know, I kind of see the similarities. Anyways, these aren't even that expensive, and you can get it in a 2-door, 4-door, or even a convertible version. Again, it is front-wheel drive, but look at the interior. Saab had this night mode for the dash where you could turn off everything except the speedo. And I mean just the speedo. And I mean, imagine flying down the highway at night in this thing, man. Proper jet fighter feeling. Speaking of jets, if you didn't know, you probably did, but if you didn't, that's literally what Saab did. They made jets first, cars second. Saab literally stands for... Wait.
Svenska Airplan Aktiebolaget.
Yeah, that. Which means the Swedish Airplane Corporation. But if you're not that convinced on this car, which is a fair point, then get the original 900 one, the 900 Classic. It might not be a full-on 90s car, you know, since it started production in the 70s, but who cares? It's got a front-hinged hood. You know, that's the really cool one. Nothing wrong with the new one, but if you want a real thing, not the GM spin-off, then that's your car. Find a clean one and you'll be driving one of the last true Saabs. It's reliable in just a keep an eye on it kind of way, but then again, some owners managed to put more than 1 million kilometers on them with an original turbo. So there you have it. I personally considered picking one of these up myself, but hey, I'm way too deep into BMWs now, so maybe in the future. How does this look? Anyway, if Swedish quirkiness isn't your vibe, maybe you prefer something more classy. Number 3. The Lexus LS400. The car so well built, it forced Mercedes and BMW to completely rethink their game. And that's coming from a BMW guy. So we gotta give it to Lexus in this one. And listen to this. I had no idea about this before I started, looking it up for this video. But Toyota spent over $1 billion developing this car. And that's not even the crazy part. What's crazy is the project was called Project F1. And the task was to create, literally, the best car in the world. They created 450 different prototypes before they decided on the final one. 450. They made sure that the car doesn't share any other components with any other car. And they spent over $400 million for the development of the legendary 1UZ V8 engine, which had 900 prototypes. 900 prototypes of the engine. What the At 300,000 kilometers or miles even, that V8 still purrs like it's brand new. It's not flashy, it's not loud, but that's the point. This is the car you daily when you want luxury that doesn't try too hard. Or if you want to be a bit flashy, you can always put some nice rims on it, lower it a bit, and yup, you got yourself a Yakuza looking pimp wagon, man. This is cool. It's like an S-Class, but a bit more under the radar. And without the European price. Speaking of European, number 4, Mercedes E-Class W124. Everything about it screams overbuilt. Everything on the W124 feels engineered to last more than 500,000 miles. Even the sun visors, Shut the door and it's like locking yourself in a bank vault. I mean, this is okay. But when Mercedes is like thump, it's like bam. You instantly feel richer. You don't drive a W124, you command it. This was back when Mercedes' motto was Das Beste oder Nichts. Before they discovered cost accounting. You know how people say they don't make them like they used to anymore? Yeah, they're talking about this car. When something finally breaks, and it will, it's usually because some rubber piece, got tired after 3 decades of faithful service. It's the automotive equivalent of a well-tailored suit, or something. Not flashy, not loud, just quietly confident that it's better than anything else on the road. Engines, you ask? You've got options. Straight 4s, straight 6s, even 5-cylinder diesels that run on old French fried oil. Or if you're feeling spicy, the E320 with the 3.2-liter inline 6. And 3.2-liter inline 6, 90s. That's basically E36 M3 engine. Not really, but anyway. And then there's the 420e and 500e, the V8 powered monsters. But those can get a bit expensive. But then again, look at that 500e, man. Woo. Woo. But even normal models are a vibe. Rear-wheel drive, solid ride quality, amazing seats, and the interior, just look at it. Analog heaven. So who's this car for? It's for a guy who appreciates quality, like real quality. It's for the people who drive because they like driving. And the best thing, these cars are still super usable today. They're built like they expect to be driven for the next 30 years, and then for the next 30 years, and the next 30 years, You want a 90s car that you can just get in and go, that's your car. Number 5. Now, something completely opposite of that Benz. A car that was totally uncool when it was new, which is exactly why it is now.
CR-V, the new 4-wheel drive from Honda. It'll help you get more out of life.
Alright, hear me out. Yeah, it's basically a Civic in hiking boots, tall, slow, but absolutely unkillable. Under the hood is a Honda's legendary B20 engine, a distant cousin of the B18, the one that powered Integras and Civics, one of the best engines ever. Nah, but still good. You can beat on it, neglect it, forget to change the oil for like 40,000 kilometers or miles, whatever, just pick a number, and it will just keep going. And here's the best part, a lot of these cars came with a factory picnic table. And I'm not even kidding, fold up the rear cargo floor and boom, instant campsite setup. And the best part, a lot of owners don't even know this, so chances are you'll be the first one to use it. The interior is boring, but there's a lot of glass, the visibility is awesome, and the controls are very simple. It basically, is the car you buy when you want zero problems, zero trauma. This car is for a person who would typically buy a new crossover, but then they remember they're also cool. So, be the cool one. And low-key, it looks pretty dope. It's not aggressive, it's not loud, but it's got that clean, timeless shape. Simple lines, great stance. It's like a golden retriever of the SUVs. And the best part, these are like dirt cheap. You can get a factory fresh example and it would still be cheap. And even if they've been abused, obviously you shouldn't buy an abused one, but if you have like $500 and you decide to get one, it'll probably start right up, run like nothing happened. Parts are everywhere, forums are strong, fuel economy is not terrible. It's the kind of car you never really regret owning, let's put it like that. Number 6, the Jeep Cherokee XJ. And I mean, look at this thing. It's perfect. This car is just... The XJ Cherokee is a blueprint for SUV design. Every other SUV that came after that copied this one. This was the first unibody SUV, which means, it doesn't drive like those truck wagons from the 70s. It's actually kind of decent, like daily drivable without the full-on truck feel, I guess. So with this car, you don't just get an old SUV, you get the OG one, the first one. You get basic interior, but the confidence, like if society collapses, your Jeep will be fine, and so will be you. Oh, and that 4-liter inline 6 is legendary. It will run on bad gas and low oil. And you can daily this thing anywhere. It's tall enough to climb curbs, and it's small enough you can park basically anywhere. Surprisingly, this car is super small. If you've ever been up close to one, it's big, like in terms of practicality, but really tiny on the outside. And scratch it up, it just adds character. This car is just a win on top of a win on top of a win. You'll get thumbs up from dads, outdoors people, and anyone who remembers when SUVs actually did SUV things instead of just looking like one. Drive one, and suddenly, your life feels more adventurous. Even if, the wildest place you go is Walmart or something, I don't know. I would totally have this car. I may get this car, but it would have to be a really clean example, Because if you find a clean one, white color combo looks absolutely fire. There's also a ton of trim options out there. You can get it all blacked out. Looks like something Tupac would drive. Or you can get a red one with chrome trim and you look like, I don't know, Pierce Brosnan in that Volcano movie. Okay, that was a Suburban, but you get the point. Also, that Suburban is pretty cool. You should get that too. It's not really the most 90s car. It may be a bit big and may or may not have a drinking problem. Yeah, whatever. Number 7, Honda Civic.
You are my sunshine.
What a great ride! This feels like a jet. It's a miracle!
これがミラクルドライブ、ミラクルシビック誕生。
Okay, not the most original pick, but let's get real. It's a great 90s daily. Probably the best one on the list. And not just a great daily, it's got VTEC, baby.
Jesus!
These aren't just cars, they're go-karts with license plates. Lightweight, rev-happy, stupid little fun machines that make, 160 horsepower feel like a life event. You don't need big power, you just need a tight chassis, a short shifter, and 7,000 RPM. And look, yeah, okay, I get it. The kid with a Civic, You know, slammed blasting VTEC with a fart can exhaust at 2 a.m. But here's the thing, if I let you in on a little secret, if you keep it clean, don't ruin it with bad mods, and just let it be what it is, these Civics are becoming real classics. They've crossed the line, from cheap tuner cars to respected legit cool machines. Plus, they're simple, reliable, and cheap to run, and the aftermarket is endless. But again, skip the eBay coilovers and fart can exhausts. You know, we've all had enough trauma. So if you find a clean one, especially an SI or VTI, grab it. It's a time machine to when fun didn't require depth, luxury, or turbochargers. Just gears and a little magic at 5,500 RPM. So yeah, mad respect if you have a clean VTI with subtle mods. Those things can be absolutely freaking awesome. Number 8. Before the Fast and Furious hype machine made the Mark IV a six-figure celebrity, there was this, a Mark III Supra. Kinda boxy and underrated as hell. It's the kind of car that doesn't need attention, but it still turns heads if you know what you're looking at. Pop-up headlights? Check. Rear-wheel drive? Check. 5-speed manual? Yup. Turbocharged inline 6? Oh hell yeah. It's not the lightest thing in the world, and it's not a drift missile, but that's the point. You know, this thing was built to cruise fast, Autobahn style, and plant your foot, let the turbo spool, and it moves like it's got somewhere important to be. It's not really the most 90s car, you know, it's more of an 80s one, but hey, unlike the Mark IV, you can still buy one without selling a kidney. You know, in my opinion, this car is for people who want the real Supra experience. You know, not the meme, not the movie star, just a damn good 90s sports car with some old school Toyota charm. Number 9. Okay, look, I lied. We're not doing top 10 cars. Look, narrowing this list down to just 10 cars was basically impossible. But for the sake of time and my sanity, instead of number 9 and 10, we're going super fast on a few other cool cars that almost made the list. They can be a little weird, some can be a little, you know, high maintenance or impractical, but totally worth it. If you got some tools, some patience, and, you know, preferably a second car. Look, I know I started this video talking about money, but let's be honest, none of these cars make financial sense. They just make way more sense than spending 30, 40, 50, 60 grand to sit in traffic in a beige crossover. Peugeot, Pug, Peugeot 106 Rally. Not unreliable, not stupid, just tiny. Only sold in Europe, no power, but they weigh like 900 kilos, so they're sneaky fast. Rev it like you hate it, it loves the abuse. There's also a bunch of other European hot hatchbacks from this era worth looking at, you know, like Renault 5 GT Turbo, Fiat Uno Turbo, Volkswagen Golf GTI, Mark II, Mark III, Mark IV. Then there's also a bunch of cool sedans like Alfa Romeo 164 QV or Alfa Romeo 156 GTA. These are just amazing cars if you live in Europe, you know. They're also not the worst in terms of reliability, well, at least when it comes to Alfa standards. Then there's Fiat Coupe Turbo, designed by Pininfarina, basically a mini Ferrari, 5-cylinder turbo. Michael Schumacher had one, so there you go. Jaguar XJS V12 or a straight 6, you know, it's a Grand Tourer that smells like leather and old money. Keanu Reeves chased the bus with it in Speed, pretty cool. Will it start? Unclear, but will it look good while waiting on a tow truck? Yup, absolutely. Mazda Miata NA, first generation. You know, there's a reason everybody recommends it. It's that good. Light, cheap, fun, small. But if you don't care about space, you know, Miata is the answer, like always. Audi S4 B5. This one is for my Audi fans, so they will not be able to complain that I didn't mention a single Audi in top 90s cars video. So there you go, this one is for you. It has twin turbo V6, quattro all-wheel drive, and that sleeper look. Tuned once will hurt your neck and will hurt your bank account. You know, keep it stock-ish, and it's one of the coolest dailies or even winter dailies you'll ever own. Mitsubishi Galant VR4 or Galant. I don't know if it's Galant or Galant. Whatever. All-wheel drive, four-wheel steering, turbocharged. You know, looks like a grandma car, but goes like a rally car. So, It's a cool car. Find one before the Evo kids do. And the list could go on and 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 on forever. But the point is, cool, reliable-ish, daily, able cars do exist. You just have to look backward, not forward, unfortunately. So which ones would you daily and which ones did I miss? Like a lot. I mean, all of them, right? Let me know in the comments. So yeah, buy the fun car, drive the dumb, cool, slightly unreliable thing, because at the very least, when the cyber attacks start, they won't be able to hack your 93 Civic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.